Hello, everybody. I just want to give a quick little update on ASM. For those that have been here with me several times on the channel, assembleai, little AI agent microcap play that I personally like. Every once in a while, month or two, I reach out to the team, which any of you guys can do too, and I just ask them a bunch of questions. Usually, a lot of the similar variety, asked in slightly different ways, just to see what kind of answers I can get, what they can update me on, or what they can clarify for everybody. So, I just want to go over some of the questions that I got answered recently in today's video. We got some little bit more detailed information about the airdrops for if you guys use the NS3 app. ASM's free little app where you take quizzes to earn points that we can then convert into ASM tokens. We got some information on that today. And I'll look at the charts, give a little bit of price action, some thoughts about everything, and we'll just kind of move on with that today. So, as always, if you've been here a couple of times or you get anything from these videos, please do press the like and subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But regardless, let's move on and just do some quick little updates about assembleai. So ASM they've been busy, at least on releasing a lot of news, right? I mean that both literally because that's what they do, an AI agent that makes news and journal articles, but also they've been making a lot of small partnerships and collaborations, which almost all of them were for marketing, right? Of getting their name out more, getting their product out more in front of more people so people can use the product, which long term helps price action. And more so, get people to realize that there's this cool little agent AI that is about a penny and get people to go ahead and jump in and buy it. Right? They're now starting to really advertise and get collaborations for advertising, a lot of learn to earn type scenarios. And I think we're playing 9 so far in the last 6 weeks. Awesome stuff. Last time I did a video about this, I had a few people both on the comments here and on Twitter ask, well, when's it going to turn to price action? And not to be short or sarcastic to everybody, but the answer hasn't really changed, right? Having these collaborations and partnerships are going to increase the odds of a better price jump when it happens. Right now, market sentiment's low. We just got to wait for everyone to go through their feelings. ASM will have its time. It's a micro cap. They generally come later in cycles and later in the same narrative. And since it's an AI play, when AI starts picking back up again on the narrative, awesome. It should follow the tailwinds of the other large AI crypto, BitTensor, Tau, Render, etc. So now let's get into some of the questions that I asked the team and what the responses were for it. So the first question I asked was about how they've had several new partnerships announced in the last month or two from Galaxy, Collably, Pingo AI, and there's a lot more. Again, you can look at my previous videos or go on their Twitter feed and you can see a lot of these. So the question that I had for them was with all these new partnerships that they've announced the last 2 months, right? Galaxy, Collably, Pingo AI, 7 other ones, and a lot of them, again, were learn to earn or networking, branching collaborations. I asked them which ones did they think was the biggest ones, because I can do my deep dives into what these mean, but we only get so many details. So I want to know what was their view on it, and it was simple. Well, all partnerships are meaningful, particularly important ones are publishes articles on X or pinned to the top. Okay. So most of the stuff that I hear about from their collaborations are on X, right? And then more so when we say pinned one at the top, let's get a direct answer of what that meant to them. And that would be Galaxy Digital right here coming from pinned on the top of their X page. So they like going ahead and bragging about it, and they should. This was even 2 months ago at this point almost, of 100,000 came in on ASM through Galaxy Starboard. So this is one I did a video almost specifically on this one. In short, you can go to their X page, click on this, you can sign up, follow them, and this is another learn to earn where you can get again free ASM and also other crypto tokens as well. It is a Web3 come find me website where there's a bunch of other crypto in there. You can explore, and you get points for following, for participating in their ecosystems, things like that. And the fact that they kept this one pinned at the top for a while, great sign. This is the one that they think is largest. So I'm going to keep a closer eye on how profits and participation is going into Galaxy AI. There's a couple people who asked me, and I was very curious about this too, of if ASM plans on doing any buybacks or burns because it's in their white pages and their coding to be able to. They have no plans yet. Their words were, nothing has been planned yet. Okay. So I mean, we can run with a little hope from that one. The fact that they have the 1.5 billion tokens that are going to be slowly released over time, mostly for rewards and staking purposes, almost entirely. We probably won't see any buyback systems. There won't really be a need for it until that stuff starts really coming through. And I'm suspecting after the cycle. But that's good to know. Glad I asked. Moving on, something that I think is a little bit more exciting and I do care about is the NS3 points. We get the airdrops for free ASM, or we can pay for or apply for the airdrops for ASM starting December. And it's going to go through directly through Coinbase. So if you guys have been collecting your points from taking these little quizzes, sharing them to get more points, which will convert into more free ASM, keep an eye on it. We should be getting more news in the next 2 to 3 weeks at most. They weren't willing or ready to give me too many of those details yet, but it's going to be posted on Twitter as soon as they end up being able to. So I'm going to keep my eye out on that one. And if you guys invest into a crypto, I highly recommend following them on X. Follow the company, follow the CEOs, or whoever does most of the marketing and talking components of it. Usually it's CEOs. But they're going to tell you information first, always. So strong recommendation for that. And let's keep an eye on these points. As always, asked about new exchanges, knowing that they cannot legally announce anything until it's official. And they're still working on trying to get on larger exchanges. The focus is on closer to tier 1, tier 2 exchanges, larger ones that have more attraction into it. Okay. I promise you, as soon as we hear anything about Binance or one of the other larger ones, we got Coinbase, we'll be talking about it. I asked directly about, is there going to be any information about more staking opportunities? Because it's on Gate.io for 12%. In the US, I have to use a VPN for it. I've thought about it, but it's a good little percentage if you can use or like Gate.io. But I asked if there's going to be any staking abilities or liquidity pools officially on Coinbase, and they weren't willing to bite on that one. They said staking is currently only available on Gate.io. I'm like, I ignored the other parts of the question. I'll ask them again next month. But I'm hoping that they have it for liquidity pools. As you guys know, I plan on selling all of my crypto this cycle, or if you guys have seen my video on essentially my contingency plan for if alt season isn't what we think, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to save that spiel for the video I already did. Go ahead and watch that one, but I plan on selling everything except for quant. So it doesn't mean I'm not willing to get back into it. If I see that ASM keeps building up, I'll be very interested in doing liquidity pools specifically with something like USDC or Aerodrome to get free crypto of both. We'll talk about that in the bear market, but I love seeing staking and liquidity pool options. Big fan. And then the last question I always ask them is there anything else that's been benefiting ASM or the company that you just need more people to know, whether it's something that's newer and didn't really get attention, or it's older news and people forgot. And their response was, we recently added reliable news data sources, routers, Fortune, Woo, blockchain to NS3. So they have more sources. So this comes in from their marketing where they're producing more articles every day, is that they've got more sources feeding into more AI agents to get more articles. Again, this might not sound like a big deal. So where's the price coming? When's the price coming up? They're a company first, like any other crypto. They got to make their profits in business coming in. And over time, that does our price action that we really want. But the more articles that are out there, the more advertising they can do, the more people that know about ASM, specifically corporations. And since it's on base now, which is a pretty big deal, it's If I had to pick a chain for crypto to go on to right now, Base is one of the best ones in my opinion. A lot of large companies are coming into it, and ASM targets large companies. It's a nice little feeder source. Let's take a quick looking at some price action, and we'll probably call it a day from there. So this is ASM over the last year, and a couple things I want to point out. One, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that the price action is awesome. It's not. A lot of altcoins, including ASM, has gotten slaughtered the last couple of months. The large liquidity crash certainly didn't help. It recovered pretty well, and then it's been tracing down again. Again, as most crypto has. Good news for the entire market is that there has been a few narrative pumps right now. For the most part, the privacy pump has been happening. There's been a few older coins that have been going up, and I've got my own theories about how that's a good sign. Like Filecoin increased by like 110% in like 3 days. Zcash, what's it up to, like 700% in the last like 3 weeks? Regardless, there's good things happening in the market, but if we focus here for ASM right now, it's doing what microcaps for the most part are doing. It's going down and staying up. It's going down, coming up, and going back down. And we're having new levels of support and resistance. Our support line, until shown otherwise, can be right around here, around the 2 cents. And we are going to lower lows. There's no hiding it, just the way the facts are at this moment. And looks like we're having a support line down here around the 1.2, 1.25 cents. Okay, something that I see as a potential positive if you're into leverage or futures trading, or you're just looking at a good time to buy in, is I've got a very sloppy circle right here. So if you guys are familiar with the candles, I apologize. Let's do the real quick spiel for anyone who's not. When we have these thick blocks, it's where the price started at the day, where it ended at the day. Same thing with the green, where it started and where it ended. Lets us know if it's green or red. If it's ended higher than it began, we're green, right? If it ends lower than it began, it's red. Perfect. What about these really thin, long ones? That lets us know that at one point it got there in that day, and then it kind of came back down. So what that usually suggests is when we see a large candle up, told us we got all the way up here, but at the end of the day, it came back down here. Usually that lets us know the next couple of days are going to start going down because a big part of the day was a huge drop. It's not perfect, but it does give a pretty good idea, especially when you mix it in with the volume that we're having. And here there was a lot of volume coming through. This would have been a clear sign had we looked at it on the every freaking day chart that we're going to have a lot of red coming up. Now, we don't have nearly quite the God wicks here that we had on the green one here, but we see red all the way down, but that's a pretty long line. Back up. Here, another one, and these are getting shorter. Decent chance we're going to start coming up on the uptrend here. And I don't know how big that uptrend is going to be, but if we're looking for short-term buys or leverages, these are things I like to look for, and usually a good bullish sign of going up. If we zoom in, let's do a little bit more on the daily approach. We're still seeing similar things here of it coming up. Long candle down, we went up pretty well. Long thin candle up, going down. Same thing, just on a smaller time frame. Okay? And we appear to be starting to stabilize. We'll see how everything goes. We're still below the EMAs, which we don't really want to be, but I'm also recording this on the weekend when we tend to go down. You can see right here, we're up on Friday, and then we go down as we enter Saturday. Common for most of crypto. Video is again a little longer than I planned. I thought this was going to be a short one. I apologize, guys. But moving forward, regardless, let me know how you guys are doing mentally with your crypto in general. I understand it's being a little hard right now, but welcome to the game. Shit happens. Enjoy it. Have a plan. Move forward. And if you guys have any questions for me, please put them down below. And as always, I'll talk to you all later. Peace.